subscribe, hit the like button. This is the Brazil Around in English podcast. And this is a video talking about Brazil's roster for the upcoming Toulon tournament. I believe everyone's using under 22 squads, and we're going to see a lot of young players here. And of course, I'm not going to know everyone on this list. First of all, there's a lot of guys who haven't played first team football yet on this list. But everyone who's in Brazil, I have some knowledge of. So I'll give you a little bit if I have knowledge on a player. First, I'll start with the goalies. We got Lucão from Vasco. I think it's a question mark why Lucão hasn't seen first-team football of Vasco da Gama. I know it's a big club. I know it's an absolute pressure cooker, but their goalkeeping position has been absolutely terrible the past year. So I'm not sure why Lucão didn't get a chance after Martin Silva left. That might be a red flag. That's why I don't think he'll be the starting goalkeeper. The next goalkeeper is Lucas Perry from Crystal Palace, and I've seen him play a few times. I think he's good. But Ivan from Ponte Preta, the young 18-year-old, I think he has all the makings of a world-class goalkeeper. He's built like guys like Kepa, like Courtois. He has that type of build, and he's been starting for Ponte Preta all year. Yes, it's in the Serie B, but I've seen him against Corinthians. I've seen him against Palmeiras. I've seen him against big clubs. He holds up to it, and he recently pretty much won a game single-handedly for Ponte Preta in the Serie B. He would be my starting goalkeeper, and out of all these goalkeepers, I think he's that dude you're going to be seeing in Europe at a big club, possibly Sound in the future. Ponte Preta is negotiating him, but they're in no rush to sell yet. So I'm sure after this tournament he'll be bought up, unfortunately. Now let's go to the defenders. Gabriel from Lille in France. I think that's going to be the starting center back. I think you can put that in stone. The center back pairing I want to see is him and Murilo Pine from Cruzeiro. You also have Luis Felipe from Lazio, Lianco from Bologna, Emerson from Betis at right back. That's a guy I'm very curious to watch. I wonder if he's going to start. And then at fullback, we also have Guga, who's been starting at Elétrico Minas Gerais. He doesn't provide much from an attacking perspective, but he's very scrappy. He runs a lot. He's very strong in the tackle. I'm curious to see who starts, Emerson or Guga. And then now we got some interesting guys at left back. First, we got Iago from Inter in Brazil. I haven't seen a lot of him, but a guy I've seen a lot from in Brazil is Renan Lodge. He plays for Elétrico Paranaense. He's one of the most important players for his club. He's absolutely phenomenal. He can attack. He can keep possession. I mean, he's not going to necessarily beat you with dribbles, but the crosses are so consistent. His ball control is so consistent. And he doesn't feel like he feels comfortable coming into midfield, cutting in, or he feels comfortable out wide. You don't see a lot of fullbacks from Brazil now who like coming in and keeping possession. He's kind of the counter to that rule. Now let's get to the midfielders. And there's some questions here, and the first thing I want to bring up when I talk about the midfielders, where the hell is Jean-Pierre from Grêmio? He's a true number 10. He has a good work rate. He has pretty decent finishing skills, and he's absolutely phenomenal, and he's better than all the players on this list. No offense, Thiago Maia from Lille used to play for my club, Santos. He's good. Don't get me wrong, Matheus Vital from Corinthians has some creative ability, although I think he'll end up failing. Matheus Henrique from Grêmio is also good, but Jean-Pierre was the guy I wanted to see in this list to lead this midfield. Instead, you get a guy like Tabata, who barely even plays for his Portuguese team, and you get a guy like Matheus Vital, you think maybe he's getting called because he plays for the biggest club in the country. Wendell from Sporting in Portugal is going to be nice. Douglas Luiz is going to be nice. Thiago Maia is going to be nice. But those are all guys who don't attack. They're not creative midfielders. They're the Valanches. They're going to be winning the balls. They're going to be playing the defense. My issue, who's going to provide that little bit of magic? Who's going to provide that something special? None of these guys are capable. Even Henrique from Gremio, even though he's hyped up. Jean-Pierre was the guy they needed here. But luckily, they're stacked at attacking. They got tons of wingers. And the wings where the creation's going to come from. First, you go with Pedrinho from Corinthians, and he can also play an attacking midfield role. So maybe I'm being a little bit too dramatic about the omission of Jean-Pierre. But I like Pedrinho, but I don't think he's necessarily explosive. He scored a game-winning goal at the weekend. It was pretty impressive. I like that as a periphery piece. I wouldn't start him. Then you got Matheus Cunha from RB Leipzig in Germany. You guys are going to have to tell me more about him. I've seen him a few times. Look very, very explosive. The crossing was something I got questions about. I haven't seen enough of them to accurately say, but these next three guys I absolutely love. And I think this is going to be the starters. Rodrigo from Santos. I think he's going to Real Madrid or a big Spanish club after. I'm a Santos fan. I watch him week in and week out. He's absolutely phenomenal. He takes a lot of flack when he doesn't need to. Santos doesn't have a number 9. They don't have a reference point in their attack, so it's up to Rodrigo not only to finish, but he also has to create most of the chances for Santos, unfortunately. He might be the best dribbler in the world, and I'm willing to say that. I think he's faster than Vinny Jr. I'm willing to say that. So I'm excited to see what Rodrigo does. Pencil him, actually cement him in as starter. Now we got Anthony from Sao Paulo, and this is a kid who's came on this year. We saw him start peaking once Cuca took over for Sao Paulo. I like him. He's got good finishing skills. He's a good all-around player. He's not going to blow you away, but I think he feels more comfortable in the box than someone like Matheus Cunha or Pedrinho. So I think he should be the starting winger with Rodrigo. And the one thing that is not debatable is a number 9 position. Pedro from Fluminense. He's recovering from a big injury last year. He just got back on the field 2-3 weeks ago. He can head the ball. He can play with his feet. He can play with his back to goal. He's everything you want in a forward. He's getting hyped up a lot, and that's understandable. If I was a club like Chelsea, or even if I'm a Man United, or if I'm even a Spanish team, I'm looking to buy him as soon as possible. But I do think he has some bust potential. But as of right now, he's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That's going to be the vocal point of the team. Pedro and Rodrigo, plus these good Valanches, and Henan Logi on that left-hand side. I got high expectations for this team, but one thing with Brazilian youth teams, especially the last, since Neymar and Gonzo were teaming up on the Brazilian youth teams, they've been disappointing to say the least. Very, very disappointing. But I have high expectations for this team. Subscribe. Hit the like button. The Brazil Around in English podcast.